Professor Krishnayya was probably the smartest teacher I have ever come across in life. He was supremely confident. I would say, was more Americanized than Indian. He was always on the lookout for catching up with the best in the world. He was the one who thought about installing a HP 2008 time sharing system, while many of the professors wanted an old stupid IBM 1401 system or 1620 system. He fought, and he was well encouraged by Professor Ravi Matai, who was the director at that time. And Ravi Matai had this extraordinary capability of recognizing talent and backing them. So even though Professor Krishnayya was seen more as a maverick, more as a rebel in the sense of his desire for modernity in a very conservative society that India was then, thanks to Professor Ravi Matai, Krishnayya had a clean runway to get his ideas to take off well. And he taught me a lot of wonderful lessons in life. For example, one of the things that I learned from him was to start every transaction on a zero base. That is, never to carry the hysteresis of bias of prior transactions to the current transaction. That also meant that decide every transaction on its merits. He also taught me how to leave all the disagreements that one may have at a professional level in the office and be very friendly outside the office. I mean, there are many things that I learned from him. In fact, I would say that a lot of things that I have practiced today came from Professor Krishnayya. And he installed this time sharing. I installed the time sharing for Professor Krishnayya as the chief systems programmer, and we collected a set of very, very bright systems analysts. And at IIMA Computer Center, Professor Bhatnagar was with us. There was Mr. Apparao, who went on to found his own company. Professor T.P. Ramarao was working with me. Then there was Sri Sharad Sharma, who now had a distinguished career in Australia. Mr. Jai Krishnan Hakim, we went on to be a professor of computer science in Canada. In other words, there was Mr. Gupta. He went on to do a brilliant PhD at Stanford and is now a retired professor in the US. Professor Krishna had the knack for attracting extraordinary talent. And the very fact that I was in the middle of people who were open-minded, who were meritocratic, who would question every one of your assumptions, who would argue with you, and yet remain very friendly, that was something extraordinary. That was the best environment that he had created. Of course, he attracted people like Professor Mohan Kaul, then Professor Sikdar, and many others to IIMA Computer Center. We used to work about 20 hours a day. We had to take care of the needs of the students from 8 a.m. to about 6 p.m. officially. Then we would start working on our projects that we were developing a basic interpreter for the for Electronics Corporation of India. Then for that we had to develop a simulator of ECIL TDC 312 on the IMA machine. Then we started developing a time-sharing operating system on TDC 312. There were many wonderful things that we were doing. Then the students would come at 10 o'clock in the night. and we would help because they were all our age. They were wonderful people. So we would help them up to 12 midnight or something. Then we would continue our work till 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, and then we would go home. But we enjoyed every minute of that.
So where was the center as on location?
It was in house number 411, if I'm not wrong. I think, if my memory serves me right, I think faculty house number 411. It was in a house. It was
on the.
Yeah.
And by then, had the campus, was all the buildings there, or
No, the new part was not there.
Yeah.
But
Within
the phase 1 was complete. In my opinion, Louis Khan's design of IIM campus is probably the best in India. I don't see any other campus which is as beautiful as IIM Ahmedabad. Not just that, the library that IIMA had, particularly from the perspective of a computer science person, had more computer science books of very high quality per capita than IIT Kanpur. And all of this was because of Professor Krishnayya. I think it was a great place. And we used to go with, we used to have lots of arguments in the office between, let's say, with Professor Krishnayya. We could disagree with him because he also taught me the important lesson. You can disagree with me as long as you are not disagreeable. That's another important lesson that I learned from him. In the evening, he would take all of us in his Volvo and he would zoom at high speed on Ahmedabad roads to take to Law Gardens, I don't remember what exactly the name is. And then he would get us ice cream, he would take us for dinner and all of that. It was wonderful.
And you were staying on campus, or was it?
No, I was in Azad Society in the beginning, and then later on there came an apartment called Manali apartment just next. It was a huge apartment. We had 4 bedrooms, huge drawing room, etc., etc. So 2 of us shared that. And because I had lots of friends among the IIMA students, they used to come, they used to have parties and all of that. So we had made sure that everybody would be happy in our apartment.